Param chaiva narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tado Jayamudiraye
Tado Jaya Mudiraye
Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavada Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavadi Uttama Sloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtigim
Bhaktir Bhavadi Nashtakim
Om Nagyanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salagaya Chakshurunmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stabidam Yena Bhudale Swayam Rupagadam Ahyam Dadadi Sabadandikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yudapadagamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunadhanidam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaidam Savadudam Parijana Saidam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalidam Shri Vishakhanidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dhinabandhu Jagatpade Govesha Gopiga Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanul Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarupasya Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Padidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Sahana Vavadu Sahanau Bhunaktum Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinamadidastu Ma Viddushavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tatsat. I'll also recite the first two verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadyasya Yada Yanyayadidarachatve Sabijnaswarad Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave Mukhyandiya Suryaha Tejo Vari Mridam Yada Vinimayo Yatra Sargo Amrusha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirastakuhagam Satyam Param Dhimahi. Translation. O my Lord Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion. As one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen in fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. Thank you, dear devotees. We are going to begin the new chapter of third canto. Let's do that. So we'll recite this verse. This chapter is titled as The Remembrance of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So we know that the context in the past chapter, Mahatma Vidura met with Uddhava in the banks of Yamuna. So first chapter is titled as The Inquiries of Mahatma Vidura. So we saw that how Mahatma Vidura inquiring about the well-being of all the related, inhabitants of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and all the devotees of the Lord. And we could see that how Mahatma Vidura is so keen on hearing the glories of the devotees. So here in this chapter, Mahatma Vidura is remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And by the inquiries, Mahatma Vidura inquiring to Uddhava, and Uddhava also, Mahatma Vidura and Uddhava is remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is a beautiful chapter, and loads of essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is compiled in this chapter. So we will go through one by one and see that how it can take it in our heart. And this is the science of the Supreme Lord. So we have to always the principles, the tattva, the science that we have to understand so that it will imprint in our heart, so that we can always base our basis on this, our devotional activities on this base, on this platform. So that's very important, so that when we have a strong base, then nothing can change our faith. So it's very important for that. So we know that there is a story. The one person was there. I mean, they were trying to build a house. There were a couple of people. So one person built a house on a mere sand. So he put everything on the sand, and he put the blocks on one top of another, and he made it. So all on a sudden there was a wind. It happened. What happened? It's all the houses he built. It's all fallen down. Another person, he also made this very nice house. How he made it? He made a strong base first. He dig down and deep enough, and he put the concrete. He's nice put, and he put the nice concrete base, and he built the house on top of that. So there was a wind, and nothing can shake. It stood for a long time. So like that, our base must be very strong in all respect, so that even a small wind, small hurricane, even thunderstorms or cyclones, nothing can change the faith, because of it is built on a strong base. So hearing Srimad Bhagavatam gives us that science and the principles, the tattva, so that it's a strong base that we develop. And on that strong base, nothing can change our faith. We are going through in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was explaining about, we are all in the ocean of shark, ocean of the crocodiles. We are swimming in this ocean of various other ferocious animals. So when one who swims, all on a sudden we know that what happens when there are lots of crocodiles in a river. So as soon as one enters, this crocodile knows that one person enters into this water, they all come and attack. And then immediately the person over there, this crocodile, slices into pieces. So this is the material ocean. The moment we enters here in this world, there are so many crocodiles. They are ready to, devour us, eat us. So it's very, very important when when we have this faith, a strong faith in Krishna, then these crocodiles cannot touch us, because we are protected by the Supreme Lord, by our devotion services. The Supreme Lord is protected all these devotees. So it's very important we understand this very thoroughly and clearly. So that's why we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu, we can eradicate all our abhadras. That means various kinds of crocodiles, and we can be eradicated. So we come to this chapter, which is Uddhava and Mahatma Vidura is remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here Sukadeva Goswami, always remember, Sukadeva Goswami is revealing this transcendental science to Parishit Maharaj, speaking Srimad Bhagavatam to Parishit Maharaj. Parishit Maharaj about to leave the world in 7 days. So initially Sukadeva Goswami was giving all this wonderful remembrance of the Supreme Lord. So we know that in the 10th chapter, 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is in great detail. Sukadeva Goswami explains about the pastimes and appearance and activities in a great detail. But here in this chapter, this is only second canto. So we know that the first and second canto are the soul or the lotus feet of the Lord. Then we just come to the third canto and just above the lotus feet of the Lord. So here the importance over here we can see that one remember the lotus feet of the Lord, one can remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See that the beauty of it? Just by the lotus feet. The third canto is the lotus feet of the Lord. That lotus feet, just by remembering that one can, see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here, Mahatma Vidura and Uddhava, they were remembering the Lord. So that's where Sukadev Goswami is recollecting that, and Sukadev Goswami says like this: Sri Sugauvaja Idi Bhagavada Prishtaha Shatravartam Prishyayam Priyashyam Pradivaktum na Chodesaha Auktukatyas Marethwaraha. Sri Sugauvacha Idi Bhagavada Prishta Krishtva Vardham Priyasrayam Pradivaktum na Chodesaha Auktantyat Simhesvara. The translation by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sri Sukadev Goswami said, when the great devotee Uddhava was asked by Vidura to speak on the message of the dearest Lord Krishna, Uddhava was unable to answer immediately due to excessive anxiety at the remembrance of the Lord. So, dear devotees, this is the great symptom of a devotee of the Lord. Whenever the moment they remember the Lord, they are in ecstasy. And here's Uddhava, Mahatma Vidura was inquired about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then here Uddhava was trying to remember the Lord. Yes, Uddhava is always, Krishna is in the heart of the pure devotees. Krishna is seated there. But the moment we again come to the real form of the Lord and the recollecting the pastimes of the Lord, and it all comes like an ocean coming into our mouth, or the ocean coming into our heart. Its incessant flow, its flow comes into our heart. That's what is a symptom of a devotee. The moment we think about the Supreme Lord, he completely lost his all, external consciousness. And that should be the way, and one should reach to that point. The moment we remember the Lord, he loses his external consciousness. He completely loses. This is called, in the scripture, called the Yoga Arudha stage. Yoga Arudha stage. Or this is called the complete Krishna consciousness. When one reaches up to that, the maximum point. Or Arudha or Rudha stage. Rudha stage means the topmost stage of Krishna consciousness. When a person, by the practice of devotional services, reaches up to this point of the complete immersed of Krishna. That's what is also Sri Rupa Goswami mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion. There are 6 kinds of the symptoms that one develops, and six kinds of benefits that one develops by the devotional services. That is, one is called the Sandhrananda Visheshatma. Sandhrananda Visheshatma means one enters into the ecstasy, the greatest ecstasy of the remembrance of the Lord. And it derives a great joy, a great ocean of joy, ananda, bliss. The ocean of bliss one derives when he remembers the Lord. This is the symptoms of a pure devotee. So Sri Rupa Goswami mentioned that. The next one is Sri Krishna Akarshani. The moment such devotees remember the Supreme Lord, the Lord is immediately attracted. So Sandhrananda Visheshatma, the bliss, the content, the content, the very strong, the deep, the devotion and the bliss that one derives. So here By the inquiries of the Mahatma Vidura, Uddhava came to that such ecstasy. Just by remembering the Lord, Mahatma Uddhava cannot speak anymore. He was stunned with the anxiety, stunned with the remembrance of the Lord, and he lost his external consciousness. So it's this excessive anxiety, which is known as excessive anxiety, that is called out out outkandhyad, excessive anxiety. So all on a sudden, he completely lost his external consciousness. So it's very important that we come to this, we learn and understand these facts of the different aspects of devotional service, the devotees, and what is the benefits of devotional service. Then one develop this ecstasy, one develop this love for the Supreme Lord, gradually come to that stage of the pure Krishna consciousness, or to come to that stage of pure devotee. So it's very, very important that we understand this fact. So many times we can see that in our scriptures, like not only Uddhava, that even Sukadeva Goswami, right? Sukadeva Goswami didn't even mention even once the name of Srimati Radharani. So Sukadeva Goswami, the pure devotee of the Lord and very close associates of the Lord, and Sukadeva Goswami was a parrot called Shari, the parrot of the Srimati Radharani, the very close associates of Srimati Radharani, didn't even mention the Radharani's name in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because of even once the remembrance comes to the heart of Sukadeva Goswami, then the moment, then Sukadeva Goswami will not speak anymore. But here, Parishit Maharaj has only 7 days to left, 7 days left that to leave this world. So Sukadeva Goswami was very cautious that not to even bring to the attention, not to even bring to that point that he was so much in ecstasy, but was very cautious. The moment Sukadeva Goswami remembers Srimati Radharani lost, then next 6 months, Sukadeva Goswami will be in such a mood of ecstasy and transcendental, the ecstasy, and cannot even speak any word, will be stunned, like cannot do anything because of this ecstasy of the remembrance. So many devotees like that, they have such a symptom. This is also known as Ashtaswatika symptoms, that Ashtaswatika Vikar. This is also another aspects of devotional service. One can reach up to that Ashtaswatika Vikar. And when one progresses through the devotional path from the beginning to the topmost, then one goes through these various ecstasies, and then he feels that. And here the pure devotees like Uddhava and then Sukadeva Goswami, they are actually on that Aruda stage, and even just a little remembrance, then they can completely lose their external consciousness. So just 1 minute, somebody at the doorsteps. Just a 1 minute, I'll be back in a minute. Sorry, yeah, I'm back. So it's very important that we understand this science to devotees, and what makes sometimes people see that Krishna consciousness is just a dry. What some initially when they come to the these processes, what they do, they just do little things and here, and then they were expecting, I need to be into that stage in 2 days. Many devotees comes to that state. Okay, I'm doing this, I'm chanting this. Okay, why I'm not getting this? Why I'm not getting this? So this is have to have some little patience, that we have to keep very much in steadiness. That's called determination. Saha nishya stairya. One has to be very much in determination to perform this loving devotional service. So gradually, which develops. That's why Sri Rupa Goswami says that Adau Shraddha. Then we have to have the association of the devotees, Adau Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha. association of devotees, then bhajana kriya. We have to have our sadhana. We have to chant the holy name in very, very focused, very attentive. We have to have our sadhana on a daily basis. There should not be any kinds of other things, because of a sadhana makes the perfect. Our practice makes the perfect. So we have to have very keen on our sadhana every day, worshipping the Supreme Lord and engaging the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. So a day should not pass without engaging in the devotional loving service of the Supreme Lord. So that's our sadhana, that's our everything, that's our life and soul, that's our breath, that is our food, that's our meal, that's our water, that's our life air. The sadhana is very important for a devotee. When there is no life air, what will happen? We will be dead. If there is no water for 3 days, 4 days, we will be gone. If there is no food for weeks, we will be gone, right? Like that. So if we don't have a sadhana, then our devotional, our love for the Supreme Lord will not fructify, will not come out, will not sprout. So only by the sadhana this all happens. So we have to be very keen on our sadhana, and it starts with the chanting of the holy name. So it's very important that one has to be very much determined to chant the holy name and engage in the loving devotional service. Then only it sprouts the Bhakti Lada beach. Then Bhakti Lada beach, it sprouts that the lata, the creeper, the vine and the leaves, it's all sprouts and it's grow and the grow and the grow and the grow, and then reach up to the Golok of Vrindavan. When it's reached up to the Golok of Vrindavan, that is the Aruda stage, the final stage. There we enter into the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So this is the process. This is the devotional process that the Srimad Bhagavata explains through the devotees of the Lord. So Uddhava was in such a great ecstasy, and just by remembering by the questions of Mahatma Buddha about the Supreme Lord, Uddhava completely lost external consciousness and lost himself in that remembrance of the Lord. So we know that tomorrow is the appearance day of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the scriptures reveal this, Vedas, Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam. When the Gargacharya, remember in the Srimad Bhagavatam, when Gargacharya was giving a name-giving ceremony, that time Gargacharya was revealing, "O Lord, Supreme Lord, you appears in 3 colors in 3 ages. In these ages, you appeared in white, you appeared in red, and you appears also in yellow." So that means in the age of Kali, Lord appears in the color of yellow. That is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We know that when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes in ecstasy, what happens? Just by the remembrance of the Lord. Here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Srimati Radharani and the Krishna himself, to relish that how Srimati Radharani has such a great love for the Supreme Lord. Even Krishna couldn't come to that real, understanding of how much love this Srimati Radharani has that I don't have. And what is the reason? So these are the internal reasons of the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then here, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling that great feeling of separation, the Vipralamba Bhav. Whenever the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even though has that greatest of all these feelings, greatest of all this, and always remembering the Lord, and still Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling this greatest feeling of separation, that's called Vipralamba Bhav. Because of that feeling of separation, the tears are coming out. He was in great ecstasy and he cannot sleep. He was always, when he sees a tree, a black tree, Amalaka tree, he sees that my Krishna is there. When he sees a black stone, he goes and embraces that stone. Oh, this is my Krishna. He saw a black deer. He, goes and embraces that black deer. When he sees some black water, Yamuna is the black water. And he jumps into the Yamuna. And because of, he sees that this is my Krishna. Just by the seeing that blackish color, the hue of the blackish color, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jumped into it. So we know that one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jumped into the water in the ocean, right? Just because of seeing this is Yamuna. Seeing the ocean, seeing this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just jumped into the ocean. And no external consciousness. This is water or nothing, this is field or this is land, this is nothing. But the consciousness is nothing but this is Krishna. This water is, this Yamuna, this Krishna is there. Let me jump into it and seeing Krishna there. And this is my Lord. So what happens? And then seeing that I completely lost the external consciousness, not no conscious about the body, but only with Krishna. Dear devotees, these are all the greatest of lessons and the science that for us that how we should practice Krishna consciousness, how our consciousness should be. So this way we can develop that, we can attain the Krishna. So this is exactly the Krishna also wanted, that ecstatic love for Krishna, the very pure love for Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jumped into the ocean and singed in the ocean one day, and then after that there was a fisherman. Fisherman came over and he put his net to catch the fish, and he got this heavy big, and this fisherman thought that, oh, why I got a big fish today. So he got Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the net, and he brought it out with the great help, others' help, and he brought it outside, and he saw that there is a, like, all the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, hands are went inside the body, and the legs are inside the body, and this is called Kurma Chaitanya. All the, because of that ecstasy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, the limbs are actually went inside of the body. This fisherman got very, very much afraid, and he thought, he has started to talk like a haunting person. He was talking here and there, and whatever is come out, he was afraid of it. He was very much frightened with the seeing this darshan. Then all on a sudden, this time Swarup Goswami and other disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were searching the Lord. They were not seeing the Lord. So finally they heard the news that a fisherman was talking, and they were looking for somebody that how to cure this fisherman. He was behaving very odd. So this time they came over there, and then saw this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the fisherman, caught in the net. Why? Because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in the deep ecstasy of remembering the Krishna and then seeing Krishna only everywhere. And then at the seeing Krishna and everywhere, at the same feeling separation. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt that separation, then he was going and embracing the Lord because of that feeling of separation. So this is the topmost of the loving devotion. So like that, when a feeling of a person is not nearby, that time a person feels the love for that person. That's called feeling of separation, is the topmost love for the Supreme Lord. When a person nearby, that feeling is not there. That love is not that much, matured like that. When a person is not there whom he loves, then this person always think about that person. This is called feeling of separation, called Vipralamba Bhav. Then in the Vipralamba Bhav, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was like that. And then here Swarup Damodar and other devotees came and saw that. Then they were trying to call out the Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the moment they saw this fisherman was like a haunted person, they just gave a medicine of just slap him, and immediately slapped him. The touch of a devotee, the fisherman came to his original consciousness. So here then they started to chant the holy name of Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in the deep meditation, deep, in ecstasy of the Lord. And then the moment, and they thought, fishermen thought, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like a dead body. There is no more life anymore. They even put a little leaf in front of the nose. Nothing is coming out. And they realized that this is in their samadhi state. This is in the samadhi state. So the disciples chanted the holy name so loudly. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to his external consciousness. So dear devotees, this is the symptoms, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us, and he was Krishna himself, and also Radharani herself, and feeling of separation, and how that devotion should be to the Supreme Lord And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was exhibiting this to us. And we know that there is another incident of Srinivasa Acharya. Srinivasa Acharya was meditating one day, and everybody in Vrindavan, Srinivasa Acharya was meditating in a deep meditation of samadhi, and he went into the samadhi of remembering the Lord. So all the disciples and devotees around, seeing that Srinivasa Acharya is not coming to his external consciousness, and then they thought, they were waiting for 1 day is passed, 2 days passed, 3 days passed, and they were even thinking, what happened to Srinivasa Acharya? Whether Srinivasa Acharya still has the soul or the life, still has the symptoms of life. They were also putting the leaf in front of the nose. This is a little, kind of movements of his leaf. That means they understood the life is there, but Srinivasa Acharya in the deep meditation. All on a sudden, after the 3 days, Srinivasa Acharya just jumped up and came out and said, found out. So everybody was so surprised what Srinivasa Acharya was saying. So Srinivasa Acharya slowly came to his original consciousness. And Srinivasa Acharya said, I was in the past times with Srimati Radharani and all the gopis, and they were searching for Srimati Radharani's nostring. When they were in the water, they were playing in the pastimes in the water. Srimati Radharani lost Radharani's nostring. So everybody was searching the nostring. So I was also searching for Radharani's nostring all these 3 days, and Srinivasa Acharya didn't even realize that the time is past in this external world. Srinivasa Acharya also, they were all manjaris. They also came down here in this world for certain purpose. So here, Srinivasa Acharya was entered into the pastimes of Srimati Radharani, searching the nostrings of Srimati Radharani, searching in the water for a long time. And then finally, Srinivasa Acharya found out this little, this nostring. And that's why he came to this consciousness, say, I found out. So, dear devotees, these are the various levels of ecstasy and various levels of the ecstatic symptoms that one exhibits, and then reached up to that samadhi. That means samadhi means he's completely in with the Supreme Lord. When we lose his external consciousness, and then completely he completely with the Supreme Lord. I'm sorry, just 1 minute. Somebody's calling me. Back. So like that, dear devotees, this is very important aspects of that how one can reach up to this Aruda stage, the Samadhi stage, or the pure loving, and in this consciousness. That's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed what a devotee should be, how one should be. So we are so conscious of all our external world. We are so conscious of it. But there is also an internal, there is a spiritual, internal means spiritual, that there is a great level of the internal consciousness, that's Krishna consciousness, that one has to reach up to. We have so much of external consciousness, awareness of this all what is going outside. We are so conscious of, my body and why my country, my world, my things, and so many things outside. And from that, all various anarthas we develops. Then we go away from our original consciousness, that is Krishna consciousness. We go away from the Supreme Lord. Then what happens? Then we completely lost. Then that our original real consciousness, we are eternally the spirit soul and part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. We are a spirit soul. Our nature is eternal and we are belongs to that Supreme Lord. But one forgets this, and one ignorance of these aspects, ignorance of this knowledge, one then it indulge into these external activities or material activities. Then what happens? Slowly, which we detach the person from from the Supreme Lord, and he is completely devoured by this external consciousness, and then he lost himself in this material ocean. So, but here the process of devotional service, and then here we can see that the examples of devotees like Uddhava and like Sukadeva Goswami, like Srinivasa Acharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then even if you go to Vrindavan, there are so many devotees, they are completely immersed in the remembrance of the Lord, completely immersed in the remembrance of the Lord. And I was hearing from our Vasudeva Prabhu, and he knows one devotee, and he was a wealthy person. He, he was very rich, wealthy, well educated. He was, some business or something, or very well person, very well situated person. One day he left everything and he went into Vrindavan, and then he goes there, and then he started to stay there. Then he slowly developed this pure consciousness of the Krishna. He was not conscious. He was not, he was not eager for, or he does not want to indulge in any of these external activities like people do when we, getting money and enjoying in some way or other, going here and there. Let me do there, let me do here. But he completely understood that why I came to Vrindavan. So this devotee then started he was free from all his external awareness, or he was, not so much of interested in to indulge in so many of these external activities of. So every day from the morning itself, he started to meditate upon the Supreme Lord. He sit to one place. All he does is actually he meditate upon the Supreme Lord. So it goes for hours. It goes for hours, like, from the morning itself. And like 3-4 o'clock, he's in complete deep meditations of the Supreme Lord. So that they became into the stage of Baba. Babajis in the many Babajis in the holy places, they are like that. They are not interested. They don't want to get into this external, this material world that pollute this consciousness. But see that when they are entered into such a samadhi stage, such a Krishna conscious stage, and they're completely the mind and their intelligence, their body, everything for the service of the Lord. And we mentioned that this before, that there was one merchant he made a very pricey, very, valuable, fragrant. So he wanted to offer to the Bangi Bihariji. But this one Babaji he knew, and he thought that I would go and meet him so that I will get his blessings and I will go to Bangi Bihariji temple. So he got this, he has this fragrant merchant. And he makes this very pricey, valuable fragrant, and it's very like thousands of dollars, like kind of. And then this merchant came to meet to this one Babaji, and then he was in deep meditation in Vrindavan, and he was trying to see that this Babaji open his eyes. So, but he was trying actually, but Babaji was not opening eyes or coming into his external consciousness. So here what happened? Then this person was brought this fragrance, and he just kept it there. And all on a sudden, this Babaji opened this bottle of this fragrance and just poured it down. So this person got very much upset. What is this? What is this Babaji doing? Babaji, what is doing? That's very so pricey, so very valuable one. And then Babaji didn't say anything. This person, just went, okay, Babaji is in a different mood. So he went into the Bangi Bihariji temple, and as soon as he enters the Bangi Bihariji temple, and he feels that the smell of the same fragrance that which he brought. And this entire temple is full of that fragrance. He ran back to the Babaji, and asked that Babaji this time came to his external consciousness and told to this merchant, this person, that I was in deep meditation in the pastimes of Srimati Radharani and other gopis. They were playing the water, pastimes. They were, the injecting the water each other. And one point of time, the Radharani just, didn't have any more water to, pump. So I poured this water, this one into the bucket. So dear devotees, this is the value of, see, these devotees, they are utilize everything for the service of the Lord. Doesn't matter what is valuable or not valuable. What is valuable in this world is all relative. Just like a big stone of this one, we people say Kohinoor. But for a devotee, this is just like a stone. Like what is Sanatana Goswami? Sanatana Goswami, a merchant came like that. He saw that, gave this Chindamani, this is a big jewel, precious jewel to Sri Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami gave to this merchant, his merchant thought that there is big valuable that. So the value, anything that external, that's material, they don't have any value for it. And the devotee should be like that. Should not have so much what is there actually. It's all temporary. Even Alexander conquered this entire world, but he went with empty hands. So what is there that we are so conscious of putting all our efforts, all our body, all our life, and we are selling our soul for all these material benefits and lost our soul in this material ocean. But here we can see that all these wonderful, wonderful devotees, they come to this, their internal consciousness, that is the Krishna consciousness. They are always in the remembrance, samadhi, that's called samadhi. So Sri Rupa Goswami says that the essence of all our activities are to always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So this is the science. This is the spiritual science. This is the internal consciousness. That means we are always in conscious of the Krishna, always remembrance of Krishna, always remember Krishna. So then, in order to do that, we have to have show our detachment. That is called asakti. We have to have our detachment from this material. So we have so much value for this all material things. We have so much time for all these material things. We have so much time for everything, but we are not like an old lady who was a parrot inside the golden cage, but the parrot, that this lady was not care about this parrot, but about the cage. And one day this parrot died. So that is our stage. Human life is very rare. And our purpose of the human life, the meaning of the human life is to come to this, our consciousness, Krishna consciousness, our internal consciousness, come to that Supreme Lord, the remembrance of the Supreme Lord. Then we gradually develop to that, and we should develop to that ecstatic love for the Supreme Lord. Unconditional. Ahitugi apradikada, edatma suprasidada. Unconditional love for the Supreme Lord. There should not be any conditions. There should be unmotivated, uninterrupted, unmotivated our love for. Then when it's happened, that we practice. So we have that very keen on our sadhana, practices every day, so that we all can come to that stage. That's the perfection of life. And that's the meaning of the purpose of our life, is to purify our existence like this, not to indulge not to sink into this material ocean. We are into the material ocean. We are sinking every day with this material attachment. Then what is actually the results of it? The misery and the distress and the pain and the sorrow and the sufferings. These are the results of all this. But a person who is attached to Krishna, and when you come to this Krishna consciousness, slowly detached from this material world, attached to Krishna and detachment from these all material things, then he slowly come to this ocean of bliss, ocean of mercy, ocean of bliss, and he will situate in that pure Krishna consciousness. And this is the perfection. That's the way we indulge into the abode of the Supreme Lord. So thank you so much, dear devotees, for joining today. And we would stop here. And it's so nice to go, each and every word of Srimad Bhagavatam, ocean of bliss that which derives, ocean of meaning that which derives, and ocean of realization and understanding for us to, take it in our life. So, this Srimad Bhagavatam is so wonderful, and it purifies our heart. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari. Hare Krishna. There is okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Kendu Pranam. All those.
Very nice class, Prabhuji. The chapter name is also very nice. Like it's very amazing. Like Remembrance of Lord Krishna.
Yep.
So
Remembrance of Lord Krishna. Yes, it's in
yeah.
the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, and there's a chapter and remembering the Lord Krishna.
Yes, yes,
So this
Prabhuji.
Bhagavatam is so Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. The Bhagavatam is entirely the Krishna, the Supreme Lord's glories and the pastime. So here we see the science of the Supreme Lord.
Yes. Prabhuji, I missed that. I think I missed that in the class. So why Uddhava was in excessive anxiety?
It's an ecstasy of anxiety. That means not like our material anxiety.
Okay.
And
Okay.
this is the transcendental symptom of this Ashtaswatya Vikar. That now Uddhava, the moment Mahatma Vidura was inquiring about the Supreme Lord, the remembrance came all on a sudden and then lost his consciousness. And we will see in the further verses how Uddhava was feeling that just by the remembrance of the Lord. And, completely, this is what is happened, the symptoms which happens to the body, right? The moment we shiver, right? We
Yes.
feel our hair stand on end, we shiver, our voice jogs, and all this happens. So that's the way he says that the anxiety which he's revealing here is not that the material anxiety of it. This is a vikar, this is the feeling of the ecstatic love for the Lord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Devotees, they say that they shiver whenever they do chanting. They shiver.
Exactly.
Or
The
they feel,
tears comes into their eyes. So
yes.
people say that, oh, they are crying. So they may ask why they are crying.
Yes. Yes.
This is the joy. This is the tears of joy and the bliss. But the people, those who are outside the material conscious, they don't know. They say, oh, why these people are going to cry for the Lord? They should not cry for the Lord, but they don't know. It's the tears of joy, the tears of bliss that comes to because just by the remembrance of the Lord. So this is a spiritual anxiety or spiritual or satya vikar. It's called vikar, or that feeling that which comes to devotee just by the just remembering the Lord. Yeah.
Yes. And I think we can relate same thing to our material, practical ways that when our mother cry for the baby, right?
Yes.
As soon as she remembers, right, she
Yes.
cries.
Cry exactly when the
Yeah.
mother remembers about his child, her child, tears comes to their eyes. There
Yes.
have all these vikaras, all these various feelings. This comes to because
Yes.
of that's a love. This is the symptoms of love that which. So this is the feelings of love and symptoms of love and the what is called the content, the contents form of the love. Pure love, and in various ways we can see that. That's what is exactly the devotees also feels that when they have the love for the Lord, then all this ashta swatika vikar manifests in their body.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Anybody else like to add anything? Any other thoughts?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Very
Hindu
good
pranam.
class. Yes, all glories to Shri Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhuji, that tears is like coming automatically. You don't even have to try
Yeah.
hard.
No. We don't actually. That's automatically comes. Yep.
It was beautiful, Prabhuji. Two days I took 3 times we took darshan in the ISKCON in Vrindavan because the house was very close.
Yeah.
You can just go
It's
and
walking.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was very nice, Prabhuji.
Yep.
It was
Yeah.
very crowded, but it was very, very nice. The
Yes.
RC and the whole environment is like you don't want to come back
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
there.
That's everybody goes. All the devotees goes there and they said they don't want to come back. So wonderful. So wonderful. That why it is because of We have the love for the Lord. Our body is tuned to that. We have developed the love for Krishna and Krishna's presence, Krishna's, that we feel that presence of Krishna. So when we feel, when we go to the altar room and we see the deity, naturally all these tears and all these, feelings comes to us. And, then develop that love. And then we, wherever we go, especially Dham, Vrindavan, Dwaraka, Madhura, Vasana, Radhakund, and various places, and this where the Lord's pastimes manifested, the holy places, and so these people develop this, and they go because of automatically their feet runs towards those places because of they have the love for the Lord. This is what is we need to develop, and this is an initial stage actually. So when one develops that deep love for the Lord, then this is what is we see that various devotees, then they don't see anything outside. So their eyes are completely anointed with the love for the Lord. They don't see, even though they see outside, they don't see. They see very big, many times people say, oh, he's so beautiful. But for a devotee, what is this beauty? They say, oh, this is so precious, so, pricey. But for a devotee, what is this pricey things? It's just a little, temporary things here. What money? So all these material things are just a temporary in everything, but when it is utilized all for the service of the Lord, they see a great value in everything. But it is not utilized for the service of the Lord, it is just like a stone, So when it is mentioned that when Krishna used the jewelry, because of Krishna, this jewelry got so much of precious metals and the jewels. But if it doesn't work by the Krishna, this doesn't have any value for a devotee. So this is the symptoms that we have to develop. We have to develop this quality of detachment from these material things. People are so much attached, so much of problems people develop because of this material attachment. The moment we have this understanding, this is all temporary material nature, but really is that Krishna, the Supreme Lord, we have to develop this attachment for Krishna. Then naturally, when one develops the attachment for Krishna, then naturally the detachment develops from these material things. The only way that we can come out of this material detachment is actually attachment for Krishna. Now, how do we develop that attachment? Our devotional services. When we chant the holy name, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, engaging the loving devotional services, and doing the services for Krishna, chanting and remembering and hearing and association of the devotees. So this way we develop that love for the Supreme Lord, and then slowly we have the detachment from the material world. And then then the devotees start to develop all these various feelings of the Supreme Lord.
Yes, Prabhuji. My mom is also here, Prabhuji. One moment.
Yeah, wonderful. Hare Krishna,
Haribol
Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Dandavot pranam.
Too much very good darshan we had. All Kamini took me everywhere, Vrindavan, Mathura,
Wow,
and Sana and all.
wonderful. Very nice.
Yeah, and Vanna also told, enforce me, no mom, whatever you feel, you go. I'm not feeling well already, but morning I get up and every day we go morning and come evening in car. But all darshan, whenever, whatever temple come, Yamuna Ghat, and everywhere they took me.
Wow,
Srinathji, the
wow.
all temple we went. Very good.
Even
And very
Mayapur was so good, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Even Mayapur
Wow.
was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mayapur is so wonderful. They will not feel that should come back the devotees' presence. Wonderful, yeah.
Rahul Prabhuji and Bansi Mata, Murli Mata, very good care also they took.
Okay.
So nice. It was very nice.
So nice to hear. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, Vanna Mataji was there. Mayapur and all, she took us everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even in Jagannathji, I'm lucky. In 1
Jagannathpuri?
year, I get to see 2 times Jagannathji.
Jagannathpuri? Wow. So wonderful.
And
Yeah,
we went
it's
Rameshwar and all everywhere.
Yes, Rameswaram we went.
Yeah.
Then we went. Yeah,
Wow.
Ganga Sagar also we went.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is all the mercy of the Lord. And it's the mercy of the Lord. That's why we are having that opportunity to go to Dham. Dham is the place where the Supreme Lord is personally present. And that's why we have the darshan of the Lord. It's all only by the mercy of when the Lord has that mercy to us, then only we are able to go and take darshan. Otherwise, it never happens. Yeah.
Any temple, they do that upasana of dancing, Prabhuji. So
Ah,
I was there, I was able to do it at least like 10-15 minutes, but everybody there do for 2 hours continuous. So that sadhana. Here I came, I tried doing 5 minutes also, I can't do, Prabhuji.
yes, yes. This is the difference. This is the difference. Lord empowers, Lord gives the mercy to the devotees, and they are all dear devotees of the Lord. Especially in the Dham, we should not see that they are ordinary persons. And it is said that in the scripture, and even the people, those who are living in Jagannath Puri, or Jagannath Puri is known as Purushottama Kshetra, 60 miles of radius, and from the celestial scene, all the inhabitants, there are 400 Vishnu forms. They are some way or other serving the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So like that, Dham, we don't see them as an ordinary soul. They are very empowered. They are very, for the service of the Lord, for the pastimes of the Lord. Deity also has a pastime. Don't think that deity is just a stone. They also have a pastime. And in each temple, there are so many things happens in the temple around them with these devotees. Because of they are not ordinary. When we go to Dham, don't see them as an ordinary because of they are so close to the Lord. They are engaged or they are enacting in the pastimes of the deity of the Lord, the forms of the Lord. So this is because of the mercy of the Lord, we have that opportunity to go and associate with them and see the darshan of the Lord. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And anything else? Anybody else would like to add? Priya Mataji, Gauri Mataji, there.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All goes to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. That was really wonderful. I mean, an extra bonus was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes also today.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
very, very beautiful. Thank you. Prabhuji, one question is,
Sure.
our identity is that we are servants of Krishna.
Yeah.
But this word servant, sometimes we have an issue because I think we are dealing with it in the material sense.
Yes.
Like, why should I be a servant to somebody?
Yeah.
And maybe we are serving a material person, so that differences are there, our karmas are there, whatever. But what is the difference, Prabhuji? When we say we are servants, what is the bliss that is associated with such service?
Oh, Krishna. Yes. I mean, Das is the everything. Servant is everything for the Lord. So we see the servant, okay, subordinate to us. Like, oh, they are subordinate. This is the material, impurities because of our consciousness is polluted by this all, we are all trying to load it over the material nature. We say I'm boss. Everybody else is servant. And this is the material consciousness. And that's why we are always, compare that when we say in the spiritual realm, when we say das or servant, that, in that same mode. But eventually what happens when we purify, comes to that consciousness, we will understand that, we'll realize that the position of a das. For the Supreme Lord, the position of a das is everything. That means Krishna is very dear to such. Krishna doesn't see them as a servant, or we call it as a das, but we take the humble position. We don't say that, oh, I'm very dear to Krishna, I'm very close to Krishna, I am the very eternal associates of Krishna. Even we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is revealed this principle, this tattva, that we always have to have this humble position of that I am the servant of the Lord, or not even we say we are das of a servant of the Lord. We are the servants of the servants of the servants of the devotees of the Lord. Because of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us that we should have that humble position in all respect. But in Krishna's terms, this is the dearest devotee of Krishna. Such devotees are very dear to Krishna because of taking that mood of that sacrifice, that mood of that serving his devotees of Krishna. Then such devotees are very, very dear to say everything is for. Krishna said that I stole my heart to them. I'm not seated in anywhere, but I am seated in such devotees' heart. I would go and personally serve that such this. So for, in the ordinary term, the servants here, but here for such devotees, Krishna is the servant for such devotees. Then where is the servant comes? Where is the dasa comes? Krishna is will come to serve such devotees. So Krishna loves them, such devotees, and Krishna takes them as himself. Even we know that even Mother Lakshmi was not even allowed into the rasa dance of Krishna, right?
Right.
Even it's very difficult. But only devotees are allowed. Only his pure devotees, I mean, those who are taken this position of das, they are allowed into the service, especially in the very intimate pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Why? Krishna never see them as like, like what we see. Krishna sees them that Krishna is, these devotees are, in the Krishna's heart. So sometimes, one time people ask why Krishna is putting tilak. Devotees put tilak, the lotus feet of Krishna, on their forehead. So somebody asked this question, why Krishna is putting this tilak like that? And what it signifies? The answer is that actually Krishna put the feet of the devotees on his forehead. So this is the difference. So
okay. So it's like even like the mother is serving the child, or the spouse is serving a spouse. So even that is service, basically.
It is service on the love, right? So mother, because of the mother has a very ecstatic love for their child. So mother do anything. Mother does not see that, oh, this is my child is a subordinate to me, so why should I do it? No, mother does it for love, but it's a service. Service means loving devotion. That's why love with love. So like that, the Krishna and the devotees does that with the love. So there's a service, like a husband and wife, they do the service to each other with love, for the love. So yes, so the service which performs with that love, and this is what is Krishna attracts most. The Lord attracts most. This is what is the purity. And there is a big, the love, the service or the love. This is love, not just really a service. Everything happens to the love, based on the love. So that's the highest form of love in this world, the mother and the child. Or when it comes to a real husband and wife, maybe a little, fluid, but something is there. So this is all the purest. This is called love. But when it comes to the Krishna and his devotees, this is the highest form of, and the service is, in the material term, which is known as, the service, or, das. Das means taking our position as a das. But that doesn't mean that, in the material term, that, this is subordinate also. Krishna takes such devotees' heart and feet in the Krishna's heart. So it's not that, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, Prabhuji, it's clear now. Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. Very nice. Okay. So anything else? Anything else would like to add? Any other comments? Okay.
No, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Then let's conclude today's class. Thank you so much for joining. And I would also humbly request that tomorrow is the biggest day of all of us, that all this actually, that we understand, we realize, we get this mercy, that to chant the holy name and understand the importance of the bhakti. It's all because of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is revealed this transcendental science, the Prema Pumarto Mahan. This was not there before. The Prema Pumarto Mahan, the love for the Supreme Lord, is the highest of all our existence. That love, that developed the love for the Supreme Lord. So all because of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day is tomorrow. And
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Okay, so then one should take this vow on this day, on this appearance day of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that please bless me, please engage me in the service of Krishna. So please allow me to chant, please bless me, please shower the mercy upon me, so that I would chant this many rounds on this day. So this is the way we slowly develop this love for the Lord. This is the way that we establish the sambandha, our relationship with the Supreme Lord. This is the way only that we can purify our existence. Otherwise, again and again and again and again, this birth in this world, and goes through so many other types. But by this process of establishing our relationship, sambandha, with the Supreme Lord only by the mercy of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we pray and we take and seriously we engage and we pray to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on this day, and we take a vow on this day that please and shower the mercy upon us, that I'm ready to serve. I'm ready to serve. I'm ready to engage in the loving devotional service. That's called service, means loving devotional service. Or here the bhakti or das means bhakta. That's what is the word which I was looking for. Das means bhakta or bhakti. So we have a title of bhakta and bhakti. That means we are establish a relationship with the Krishna as a Supreme Lord. So that is only by the mercy of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we can do that. So always, please, tomorrow, please observe and fasting till moonrise, and then pray to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that please engage us in the service of Krishna. Please shower the mercy upon us. So please join tomorrow at the temple, and we have a Chiksha Vow program at 7:30. Please join and don't miss this. And thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll conclude here. Okay, thank you, dear devotees. Let's conclude. Vancha kalpatarupasya kripa sindhubhyevacha patidanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vaishnava ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nanda Gaudi Vaishnavanta ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari.
Hare
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.